Something strange is pulsing in the darkness between the stars, an interstellar heartbeat echoing every 16 hours. And according to Dr. Avi Loeb's newly published article, this heartbeat may not be what scientists first believed. Before we dive deeper, make sure to subscribe so you never miss these cosmic mysteries unfolding in real time. The story begins on July 1st, 2025, when telescopes around the world detected the interstellar object known as 3I Atlas. Almost immediately, observers noticed something uncanny. The light from this object kept rising and falling, again and again, in a steady rhythm of 16.16 hours. At first, astronomers linked the pulse to a rotating, slightly stretched nucleus, something shaped like a lumpy potato turning in space. A simple explanation, or so it seemed. But here's where things get stranger. As Dr. Avi Loeb explains, the data didn't match the theory. The amplitude of the variation, tens of percent, was far too large for an object whose solid nucleus contributes only a tiny fraction of the total light. And, according to fresh Hubble Space Telescope imagery from July 21st, the majority of the brightness wasn't coming from the nucleus at all. It was pouring from a glowing, transparent cloud surrounding the object, a coma of dust and gas. This raises a critical question. If most of the light is coming from the coma, then how could the rotation of a small, unseen nucleus cause such dramatic fluctuations in brightness? To understand the puzzle, Dr. Loeb walks through the numbers. If all the light truly came from the solid surface, the nucleus would need to be enormous, around 10 kilometers in visible light and 23 kilometers in infrared wavelengths. But that simply isn't possible. The Hubble data suggests an upper limit closer to 2.8 kilometers, meaning the nucleus contributes less than 1% of the total light we're seeing. So once again, what's really pulsing? This is where the mystery starts tightening its grip. If the nucleus is too small to cause these massive brightness swings, something else must be driving the rhythm. And that's when scientists reviewing new images of 3I Atlas began to notice something remarkable. Multiple jets erupting from the object, blasting material into space. Imagine it, colossal geysers firing gas and dust into the darkness. And if these jets weren't steady, but instead pulsed, turning on and off, they could create exactly the kind of fluctuating brightness astronomers observed. According to Dr. Loeb, this would make the entire coma behave like a living organism, expanding and brightening every time the jet ignites, then dimming as the flow tapers off. A cosmic heartbeat. But here's the twist that sends this story in an entirely new direction. If 3I Atlas is a natural comet, this heartbeat might simply come from a large ice pocket on one side of the nucleus. Each time that pocket rotates to face the sun, sunlight heats the ice, triggering a burst of vapor, the pressure builds, the jet fires, the coma brightens, and then the cycle repeats every 16.16 hours. A natural engine, a frozen heart beating in the light of the sun. But if this object is technological, if it was engineered, the pulse could come from a jet pointing in any direction, not just toward the sun. In that case, the rhythm might be intentional, controlled, designed, a signal of propulsion or stabilization rather than a chemical reaction. And this is where things get even more intriguing. Dr. Loeb points out that no one has yet conducted a systematic, multi-day movie of the comet's brightness changes. Such a sequence could reveal whether the pulse aligns with the sun, suggesting a natural origin, or if the jet fires in some arbitrary direction, hinting at something not natural. Imagine stitching together days of data into a single time-lapse film and watching the heartbeat of an interstellar visitor flicker across the void. What would it reveal? What would it mean? In the end, one thing becomes clear. The 1.16-hour cycle has little to do with the shape of the nucleus. The heartbeat of 3I Atlas isn't coming from its surface. It's coming from the jets erupting far beyond it. But what's powering that heartbeat? Ice or intention? If you want a full breakdown of Dr. Avi Loeb's continuing analysis and every new twist in the Three-Eye Atlas mystery, make sure to subscribe and tell me in the comments, do you think this heartbeat comes from nature or something else entirely?